this island, they somehow think a good defense is to say, "Oh, my children were with me." Jesus Christ! Like, what is wrong with you?
I mean, bring your children. There are people who were telling Epstein their children were around when they were inviting him to hang out in the files. So
I don't know. I mean, I guess my question is, who gets thrown under the bus, right? Is it Pam Bondi, who I think actually has the hardest job of all of these people because she has to go out there and be the public face of all of this? Like, we're talking about how poor her strategy was, but like, what was the good strategy, I guess, is the real question, aside from quitting? Then you have all of these other members of the administration who have been palling around with Mr. Epstein, with or without their children, apparently. And Donald Trump sometimes seems like he's ready to cut them loose, but then he's not. I don't know.
The real problem is they haven't charged a co-conspirator yet.
Yes.
If she had something new to talk about and to say, DOJ is moving this forward, we're, pressing charges.
The exact opposite. They said the exact opposite.
If they would have done what they were supposed to and released the 302s, which would have named the people that the women came out and said this happened, who did it under oath, who was one, but those names have been redacted. Yeah. And that lies the problem why no one from the left or the right or the middle trusts what the Department of Justice is doing right now.
And the terrible treatment of the women, too, the victims.
And what I would say is, look, after the landslide in 2006, George Bush famously stood and did a press conference and fired Donald Rumsfeld. I do think that there will be a landslide in this upcoming midterm, and the aftermath of that will result in Donald Trump firing all of these individuals who have lived total immoral professional backgrounds, but more than that, have been totally incompetent
you think
during
all of
their
them?
time.
Or
if you fire all of the incompetent people, who's left?
Well, I'll tell you the one person that he won't fire that he absolutely should is Stephen Miller. And we don't talk about Stephen Miller nearly enough. The way in which we have individuals in this administration who have never received a Senate confirmation actually pulling the strings of multiple departments is not only unconstitutional, but it also speaks to kind of this underlying web in this administration for who's pulling the reins of power and who's actually accountable for this.
Well, he's also a man on top of it. I mean, I think that you have Pam Bondi and Secretary Noem under the knife because they're women, too. Like, Trump is much more apt to let a woman go than he is a Stephen Miller, which is unfortunate.
Well, we'll have to see. We'll see. So far as I know, Stephen Miller is not in the Epstein files, so maybe he's not on the hook for that, but maybe something else. Max and Susan, you are sticking around.
He's probably a little too young to be in the Epstein files. If he was 10 years older, he'd be in.
Well, we can't.